Hello, welcome to the new video from City Ink Express. Today I'm going to be fitting the continuous ink system to the Epson XP 900 printer. So at the moment we've got the printer powered down and the print head is free. It's in the ink cartridge change position over here. So you do need to power the printer down, because while the printer's on, the print head could move over to the right hand side very quickly while you're installing the CISS. So you do need to make sure that the printer is unplugged. Get the head over here in the left hand side. So if you're struggling to get it over in the left hand side, what you can do is you can power the printer on and the head will start to move, and then quickly unplug it and then it will be unlocked. Or you can use the menu screen and perform the ink cartridge change feature, and it will go over to the left hand side. When it's over on the left hand side, you can unplug your printer. So I've already filled and primed the CISS system. Now before you install it, you need to make sure that the roller is locked all the way down. This will stop the ink backflowing when you install the or when you remove the orange caps from the cartridges. So I'm just going to grab a bit of tissue. What I found when I was doing some testing on these ones, when this model is primed, or when this is, you can get a bit of excess residue coming out of or excess ink coming out of the cartridge. What we'd recommend is that you just dab it. The one thing to watch when you're dabbing is if you've got black ink on here, then don't go onto the cyan and dab the sponge then, because you could transfer black to cyan and contaminate the sponge. So just have another tissue or rotate your tissue around to a clean part. So there's nothing, no residue or no excess ink here, but you can get it. It did happen to me during an earlier testing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip these over and clip them straight into the printer. Push down at the front, so they're all locked in. And then we're going to rotate the ink line so that you've got a nice straight loop, or no twists or kinks off there. We've got some clips here somewhere, so we need to fit the metal arm. Just bear with me a second, I'm not very well prepared here. Right, so within your accessory pack you're going to have a metal clip which looks like this. So you need to remove the green backing tape from this, and what we're going to do is we're going to install this in the middle here, just facing that way, and push down on it. Also within your accessory pack you're going to get a rubber plug, a large rubber plug. You're going to fit this in the printer lid sensor hole, and that's just going to trick the printer into thinking that the lid is closed. And then we need to route the incline cable. So the way to route the incline cable, so I'm just getting some bits out of the accessory pack. The way to route the incline cable is to, let me just check this before I tell you one way. Just bear with me. It's been a while since I've, yeah, it's that way. So basically we're going to come off the inclines or the ink cartridges, and we're just going to loop it straight into the clamp and lock it down. So you have a nice loop which comes around like this, and then you can push it all the way over to the left, and all the way over to the right, and then over to the left. Now when you're sliding it over to the left, you need to check here that you've not got too much of a kink here or a sharp bit. Now what you can do is you can adjust the incline through. Now this would be far too tight, that would be too tight basically. It would restrict the ink flow. So you just pull it back a little bit so it's got a nice curve coming off there, no restrictions. Just push it backwards and forwards a couple of times, and then the last thing is pull your incline up to the top part of the clamp, which is going to increase the distance here. Just going to make sure that you've got no restrictions whatsoever on that part. So I'm going to switch the printer on now, but before I do, I'm going to put the roller in the up position. And then on top of the CISS system, I'm going to remove the small flat plugs. I'll come back to this in a minute. Let's just get the printer plugged in. So I'm going to have to run a couple of head cleans on this. It's quite common to have to run a couple of head cleans, especially on first install. So you may get a warning coming up that you're using non-genuine ink cartridges on the first time install. It's not doing it on this because I've already had the CISS system on this printer and it recognises the chips already. So if you get that message, well, you will do first time, you just press OK and it will continue to print. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the printer maintenance here, and I'm going to run a couple of head cleans. So for all the parts that come with it, this CISS system, it does come with, I'll show you actually. So what it's doing, I'll come back to that in a minute. So what it's saying there is that it cannot recognise the cyan ink cartridge. So the reason it's doing this is that the way these chips reset is that the ink levels will go down as normal. When it reports empty, it doesn't actually report empty, it just says not recognised. And basically you unclip the cartridge to reset it. So the reason it's saying that the cyan is not recognised is that I've already had this system in, so it thinks the cyan cartridge is empty, therefore it's going to give you the not recognised. You won't get that first time round. So I'm just going to press the OK button. It's going to come over to the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the chip. Now the way to reset the chips on these basically is that it's saying it replace the ink cartridge because it thinks it's empty. Now I'm going to pop this clip at the front and you'll see that light go out, and then I'm going to clip it back down. I'm just going to press on the back of the cartridge just to... There, you see the light's gone out. Now click it back in and it's come back on. Press the start button and it's then going to recognise the cartridges. So yeah, that's basically how you reset the chips. It will calm down, but it will only reset the chip that it thinks is empty. So while it's doing its head clean, now it may do the same for a couple of the other cartridges because I've been doing a lot of printing on this. It looks like you're using non-genuine. This is what the error that I said, but it's not really an error. Yeah, okay. Continue printing, of course, and that's it. So let's run its head clean. So back to the other bit that I was talking about. Within your accessory pack, there's quite a few bits and bobs that you'll see which all look like this. They're all basically spares. Apart from these air filters, all the rest are spare parts. So don't think you've got to fit them just because they're there. They're just spares. So what I am going to fit is the air filters. So on top of your CISS system, just take the air filters and you're going to pop them so that the narrow pointed end is facing upwards. These will allow the CISS system to breathe. So the CISS system must stay over here on the right hand side of the printer. Please don't raise it in the air. If you raise it in the air, it will just empty the entire contents into the bottom of your printer. It must be level with the base of the printer. Now, I haven't done a video for this over on the left hand side. Some customers probably might not have the room on the right. You do that at your own risk, basically. I've only trialled the method on the right hand side, and the incline routing is over to the right as well. So also within the accessory pack, you're going to get a little clip like this. You need to install this with the teeth or the opening facing upwards. We're just going to pop this anywhere over here on the right hand side. Can be anywhere down this side, and it's just really for your incline routing, so tidy. So probably should have stuck it a bit further down there, to be honest, to be neater. I'm going to pop my incline in And again, just looking at that, we've still got that nice shape loop, no twists, no kinks, no turns coming off here. And then it can exit over here on the right hand side and just put it like that. So for the printer lid, now the printer lid is supposed to be open. Please don't go and try and figure out a way to close your printer lid just because you don't like the opening or for aesthetics or for whatever reason. The reason that the lid is open is to give freedom of movement for the ink tubes so they don't catch, twist, kink or snag or anything like that. So it's not open far, it's only open about an inch and a bit at the side. And yeah, so basically it will rest on top of there. And we do recommend you keep it that way. Do not close the lid on this model. So it's just finishing its head clean, and then I'm going to run a print off, and we're basically done. As you can see, it's really easy to fit. So simple on this one. You've got basically 2 clips and a rubber plug. That is it. So I'll just let it finish its head clean, and we're done. I'll run a couple of scanned copies just so you can see it moving with the lid open, and then I'll do a couple with the lid closed. Okay, I'm going to skip the chat because I want to get on with this movie. I'm well aware that we're at 12 minutes now. So basically I'm going to do a copy. Let's just go into the settings, paper and copy settings. A bit of a better quality on this one. Plain papers, cassette, text and image. Best, okay. Okay, done. Copies. So this is going to be. This is going to show you how it's working with the lid open. And as you can see, you've got a nice, no restricted movement here. And with the lid closed, and that's it. That's how you fit the continuous ink system to the Epson XP 900 printer. Thank you.